was acquitted. I think he might have deserved a hug. Not from the black community, because he'd been cooning his whole life and still cooning. But why didn't Judge Ito go and give O.J. Simpson a hug and say, listen, sir, this was wrong. You're innocent. I'm sorry you had to go through this. From man to man, give me a hug. Can I ask you another question? When Michael Vick was stripped of his right to play football, when Michael Vick went to jail for dogs, when Michael Vick went to jail for dogs, when Michael Vick went to jail for dogs, did the judge come and hug Michael Vick and say, you just signed the most lucrative contract in NFL history? You're probably the most athletic quarterback of all time, and you're about to lose all that. I'm so sorry for you, Michael. Let me come give you a hug. Did Michael Vick get a hug? Did Michael Vick get a hug? Let's keep on going. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, the #1 black television star in modern history, was convicted without no proof of having harassed this ugly Neanderthal. Legally blind in a jail in Philadelphia right now. Bill Cosby needs 2 people to help him wash, 2 people to help him bathe, 2 people to help him go to the bathroom, 2 people to go help him eat. Bill Cosby. Did the judge come down and say, I'm sorry? You're convicted with no evidence. You're the #1 black TV star in history. You're old and legally blind, and you're about to go to jail where you might die. God forbid. Ancestors, we hope that will never happen. I'm going to give you a hug. There's no proof you about white supremacy, but I'm going to give you a hug. Did Bill Cosby get a hug? Let me ask you a question. All the young black boys who are tried as adults and sent to jail almost for life. All the young black males who are tried as adults and young black females tried as adults, separated from their children. When you send a black woman to jail, you destroy your family. When you send a black woman to jail, you destroy your family. When you send a black woman to jail, you destroy your family. When you send a black woman to jail, you destroy your family. Has the judge ever hugged any of you sisters before you went to jail? I'm talking to my beautiful African queens right now, 2 of whom I will make my wife one day. I'm talking to my sisters right now, 2 of whom I will make my wives one day. Has a judge ever come to you and hugged you and say, I'm sorry you're being separated from your family. Good luck in prison? Has a judge ever hugged a black woman in jail? Has a white female judge ever hugged a black woman in court after you was convicted and sentenced? Have you ever gotten a hug? Has a black woman ever been hugged by a white female judge post-conviction? Post-conviction, not pre-conviction, post-conviction. Hell no. What about all the black men sitting in jail now for crimes they didn't commit? How about all the black men who were found innocent of crimes later? Black women found innocent of crimes later. Has the judge ever come down from the bench and give you a hug? See, I know why y'all don't like me. I know why y'all don't like me, because you don't understand me. You say this Negro got a doctorate in clinical psychology. Do you know how much money a clinical psychologist makes for a psychological misdiagnosis? This Negro has a doctorate in clinical psychology from a prestigious white university. Do you know how much money clinical psychologists will make for one evaluation misdiagnosing a black child with ADHD, mental retardation, conduct disorder, learning disability, emotional, and instead of making millions of dollars, this Negro, instead of making millions of dollars, this damn Jermaine Shoemake Umar Johnson Negro could be a millionaire, and instead he devoted his life to liberating black children. What is wrong with this Negro? What is wrong with this man? He risks everything every day he opens up his mouth. He out here saving black kids, and some of them, their parents don't even care about them. He's out there fighting for them. He taking on a whole pharmaceutical industry. He taking on a whole special ed empire. He taking on a whole white supremacist foundation. He could be getting rich, misdiagnosing black children. What is wrong with this, Negroes? Because you're not used to the pure types. Because we don't have too many pure types. H. Rap Brown, Imam Jamil Alameen. H. Rap Brown, Imam Jamil Alameen. H. Rap Brown, one of the most articulate and powerful and unapologetic voices of the Black Power era. Former chair of SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Commission. Former officer, temporary, of the Black Panther Party when SNCC and the Panthers merged. He is languishing in a prison cell right now for a crime he never committed. He's one of those original, authentic types. Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, who's now an ancestor, one of those original, authentic types. El Hajj, Malik El Shabazz, the greatest since Garvey. Malcolm X was one of those authentic types. Dr. King, Medgar Evers, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton, Alexander Crummell, Bishop Turner, Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Ida B. Wells, Fannie Lou Hamer, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, the original authentic types. I come from that particular egg bag. They sent me to do this work. That's why you can't understand me, because you's a hustler. You wake up with nothing on your mind but $1. I wake up with nothing on my mind but making a difference. Let's get back into this. I don't want to digress. I expect an increase in police genocide. God forbid. God forbid. I pray that SU shuts down every road to such an event. But politically speaking, I expect there to be a spike in the amount of police genocides carried out by white women as a result of the precedent set in this case. I expect for there to be an increase in the amount of police genocides carried out by privileged white female innocent Mother Mary police. I expect there to be an increase in genocides carried out by innocent Mother Mary white female police officers. That's what I expect as a result of this. Oh, yes, I do. And then to top it off, the judge gave her her Bible. Do you see the religious symbolism? Remember when Jesus was crucified? When Jesus was crucified, there were a group of women who wept at the feet of Jesus. I'm not disrespecting your religion. I'm talking about symbolism. There were women who wept at the feet of the Christ. Did they not? Didn't Mary Magdalene wash and anoint Jesus's feet with her hair? Didn't Mary Magdalene wash and anoint Jesus's feet with her hair? Did we not see a black bailiff in the courtroom straightening out the hair of Amber Guyger? Did we not see a black woman metaphorically and symbolically washing the hair of her Lord and Savior, Amber Guyger? Didn't Mother Mary wash the feet of Jesus with her own hair? Didn't the bailiff straighten out the hair of Amber Guyger as she sat in that chair? I'm telling you that the Amber Guyger trial was a modern 21st century rendition of the crucifixion of white Jesus. They cried at her feet. They straightened her hair. They begged for her acquittal. They wanted to resurrect her freedom? This is why Karl Marx, and I'm not a Marxist, he was a racist. This is why Karl Marx called religion the opiate of the people. This is why Karl Marx referred to religion as the opiate of the people. And guess what? And I'm no Marxist supporter or fan. I don't have heroes who are not African. I don't have heroes that are not Africans. I don't have heroes that are not Africans. Fidel Castro is not a hero. He's not an African. Che Guevara is not a hero. He's not an African. Mao Zedong, Chiang Kai-shek, they're not heroes. They're not Africans. All my part of the foundation of African fundamentalism, Pan-African nationalism, all heroes are African. All heroes are African. You can learn from anybody. You can learn from anybody, but all heroes must be African. Okay? Where was I? I had an ADHD moment. What was the last point that I made? I had an ADHD moment. My ADHD stands for an ancestral diversion for my higher development. I had an ADHD moment. I had an ancestral diversion for my higher development. I had an ADHD moment. I had an ancestral diversion for my higher development. I had an ADHD moment. I had an ancestral diversion for my higher development. You said I look 25 years old. I appreciate that, sister. I might look 25, but I don't like to date under 35. I might look 25, but I don't like to date under 35. Now, getting back. What point was I making? All my heroes are African. What did I say before I said all? Okay, yes, the Bible. So the judge gave Amber the Bible. Look at this now. She's giving to Jesus his word to take with him on his mission. Look at it. The same Bible that got her Willie Lynch chip all fired up. The same Bible that got her off that bench to go and give her the hug. She delivers the word of God to the Savior. I am so embarrassed for my people today. I am so embarrassed for my people today. Karl Marx. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Kwame. I was talking about Karl Marx. Thank you. I had an ADHD moment, an ancestral diversion for higher development. Karl Marx said religion was the opiate of the people. Karl Marx said religion was the opiate of the people. But Karl Marx was a European Jew. Karl Marx was a European Jew, but he said religion was the opiate of the people. What I'm saying is I believe Karl Marx, a little bit of lavender, stay in tune with the ancestors. I believe Karl Marx was religious, but I believe the reason he removed religion from the Communist Manifesto and the socialist doctrine is he didn't want it to be used as a distraction. Are y'all following me? Are y'all following me? Are y'all following me? I believe Karl Marx was religious. He was a European Jew. He was religious, but the reason he removed it from the Communist Manifesto, he didn't include it. The reason he said it was the opiate of the people is because he understood. He understood the greatest weapon used by those in power against those without it is religion. I'm going to say it again. Steve Biko said, the greatest weapon used against, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Steve Biko said the greatest weapon in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Rest in peace to Steve Biko. South Africa, you will see me. Dr. Umar, 3rd annual national tour of Azania. Johannesburg, get ready. Cape Town, get ready. Eastern Cape, Western Cape, Soweto, get Pretoria, Khayelitsha. The Prince is returning. First visit since 2016. It's gonna be crazy. Aman la, awetu, my bouye, Africa. Rest in peace to Robert Sobukwe. Rest in peace to Queen Mother Winnie Mandela. Rest in peace to Nelson Mandela. Rest in peace to Chris Ani. Rest in peace to all the brothers and sisters who gave their life in the fight to destroy apartheid. Shout out to my brother Julius Malema. Shout out to the economic freedom fighters. Shout out to the ANC Youth League. Shout out to all my South African brothers and sisters. And on that note, let me say this about the xenophobia attacks in South Africa. Let me say this about the xenophobia attacks in South Africa. Julius Malema, I want you to hear me well. South Africa, I want you to hear me well. Nigeria, I want you to hear me well. I believe that although this xenophobia is organic, as someone who travels to South Africa on a regular basis, although I do understand that the xenophobia is a real problem, African self-hatred, it is a global issue. I also believe that the CIA and the MI6, listen to me, the CIA and the MI6 are instigating, infuriating, and expanding the xenophobia crisis as a way to distract away from the reclamation of African land and resources by indigenous African brothers and sisters. Don't be distracted. Get the xenophobia under control. Investigate the culprits, because you will find that many of them are CIA agents. I'm telling you, this xenophobia smells like CIA. It smells like CIA. It smells like CIA. Why do I say that? Because the CIA, whenever they notice a problem between blacks, they rush in and they exploit that problem. They did it right here in Memphis. They did it right here in Memphis with the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When he came to Memphis in April of '68 to lead the sanitation workers strike, when Dr. King came to this city, what happened? When Dr. King came to this city, what happened? The FBI infiltrated a nonviolent march and used agents to disrupt the march, provoke violence, and people ended up getting hurt. And I think somebody was killed. I'm telling you, the xenophobia in South Africa has CIA behind it, and it is no coincidence. It is no coincidence. Thank you, Dashiki Mary. It is no coincidence that the Nigerian-South African conflict is being the one promoted the most. It is no coincidence that the Nigerian-South African conflict is the one being promoted the most. There is no coincidence that it is the Nigerian-South African conflict that is being promoted the most. It is no coincidence that it is the Nigerian-South African conflict that is being promoted the most. You know why? Because Nigerians and South Africans are two of the most unapologetically African revolutionary populations on the continent. I said South Africans and Nigerians are the two most unapologetically African revolutionary youth populations in Africa. If you've ever heard me speak, I always tell you that African liberation will go through Nigeria and South Africa. I always tell you that African liberation will go through Nigeria and South Africa. So is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence that the biggest xenophobia conflict is between Nigeria and South Africa? And now the African Union is saying we need to put South Africa out of the African Union? That's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing the African Union can do, shout out to the African Union. I will be at the African Union headquarters next Saturday, October the 12th. All of you are invited. African Union headquarters in Washington, D.C. for the 2019-2020 Pan-African Political and Economic Diasporic Conference. It is going down 1 week from today at the African Union headquarters in Washington, D.C. If you need the flyer, email me or text me. DrUmarJohnson.com, DrUmarJohnson@yahoo.com, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. I'm only going to keep y'all for 30 more minutes. I'm only going to keep y'all for 30 more minutes. I'm only going to keep y'all for 30 more minutes. It's 11:15. I'll be done by 11:45. Tulsa, Oklahoma. I will be speaking in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Saturday, November the 2nd. Get your tickets at DrUmarJohnson.com. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is coming to Black Wall Street Saturday, November the 2nd, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I'm going to go to West Africa and build Black Wall Street, West Africa. I said I'm coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma on Saturday, November the 2nd at the Greenwood Cultural Center, 4 o'clock, doors at 2. Saturday, November the 2nd, Greenwood to Ghana to build a Black Wall Street in West Africa. And then Oklahoma City. I'm coming to Oklahoma City the very next day, Sunday, November the 3rd, Oklahoma City. Sunday, November the 3rd, Oklahoma City. It's a back-to-back Dr. Papa weekend. Oklahoma, get ready. Dust Bowl, stand up, Midwest, Black Power, Oklahoma City at the 4502 Event Center. Saturday in Tulsa, Sunday in Oklahoma City. November 2nd, November 3rd, 4 o'clock, both days. Doors open up at 2. Vendor spots available. Opening acts. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is back in Oklahoma for the first time in 4 years, but it's going down today. Memphis, Tennessee. Today. Memphis, Tennessee. It is going down today. Right here in Black Memphis, Tennessee. The Do for Self State of Emergency Survival Conference from 11:30. The doors is about to open up in 15 minutes. Multiple presenters, multiple topics, multiple presenters. Yes, you can pay at the door. Of course you can pay at the door. Of course you can pay at the door. Of course you can bring the children. Of course you can bring the elders. The doors open up at 11:30. We go into 7, and I will keynote at 5. Make sure you are inside and in your seat at 5 o'clock. Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Memphis. We are here. 485 Beale Street. 485 Beale Street. Beale. At the Martin Luther King Center today in Memphis, 11:30 to 7. Dr. Umar speaks at 5. Text me for the flyer. Text me for the ticket link, but you can't get tickets at the door. Text me for the flyer. Text me for the ticket link, but you can't get tickets at the door. 215-989-9858. For more information about today's event, you can call 901-453 9352. For more information about today's event, 901-453-9352. 901-453-9352. Monday, this coming Monday, November the 7th, we will be at the Embassy of Ghana. The Ghana Consulate. Let me be clear. We will be at the office of the Ghana Consulate in New York City, New York, Manhattan, 11 o'clock for the very important Pan-African Village land announcement. Land is being given out in Africa. You do have to pay for the processing of that land. There is a fee, but if you're interested in being part of Dr. Umar's mass repatriation, Black Wall Street, West Africa. I said, if you want to be a part of Dr. Umar's repatriation task force, Black Wall Street, West Africa, come to New York this Monday, the day after tomorrow, November the 7th, 11 o'clock at the Ghana Consulate. It's absolutely free. You do need to RSVP. It's absolutely free. You do need to RSVP. Monday, 11 a.m., New York City, the Prince is back. Monday, November the 7th, 11 a.m., New York City, Ghana Consulate, the Prince is back. If you need the flyer, text me for it. If you need the flyer for Washington, D.C., Pan-African Diasporic Summit, Saturday, October 12th. This is Pan-African Week coming up. I'm just going to call it what it is. Dr. Umar's Pan-African Week. Monday, Ghana Consulate in New York. Saturday, African Union in D.C. It don't get no better than that. But you must make your donations. You must make your donations to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, so we can have a place to meet, so we can have a place to sleep over, so we can have a place to eat, so we can have a place to educate our babies, so we can have a place to hold our conferences, our seminars, our workshops, our emergency meetings. Donate. FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. Text me for the information if you need it. Resumes, fdmgresumes@gmail.com. Let me finish my analysis because I only have 20 minutes. Karl Marx was a European Jew. But the reason he called religion the opiate of the people is because he knew that if he did not get religion out of the way, it would be used to put people to sleep. So the way he decided he was going to deal with it was he was going to say religion was a problem. It is a weapon of the capitalist system. Leave it alone. The Honorable Marcus Garvey dealt with it differently. He said, listen, if they want religion, they can have religion, but they better go to church to get it, because the UNIAACL, the Marcus Garvey movement, exists for nation building and African redemption. Nation building and African redemption. Team Pan-African is about nation building and African redemption. Religion has been the primary weapon used against African people in the United States of America for 400 years. Religion has been the primary weapon used against African people for 400 years in these United States. I need y'all to understand something. If you don't understand anything else I say today, you cannot use religion to solve political problems. You cannot use religion to solve political problems. You cannot use religion to solve political problems. If you know of anybody, name me a nation that used religion to solve their political problems. Mahatma Gandhi was religious, but he didn't use religion to solve India's problems. He used nationalism. That's right. Name me a nation of people who got free using religion. They may have been religious, but they didn't use religion to make political decisions. You cannot use religion to solve political problems. That is black people's problem. We don't know how to keep religion in its place. You don't bring your religion into courtroom for a criminal trial. Botham's brother told Amber Guyger, the white Virgin Mother Mary, that if you would turn to the Lord, if she would only turn to the Lord, she will find her salvation. My brother, do you realize the Ku Klux Klan is a religious organization? Do you realize the greatest racists in American history, many of them were pastors of the Christian church? Are you aware that every major Christian denomination in America supported the slave trade? Are you aware that Christianity is often used as the justification for African extermination? How in the hell can you tell a convicted murderer to use the very same religion that has been used to oppress and exterminate you to achieve her salvation? The white prosecutors cared more about Botham Jean than the black people in the courtroom. I said the prosecutors in this case, the two white prosecutors, cared more about Botham Jean's life than the judge and the jury, who were black. How can the white prosecutors care more about the life of a black man than a black judge and black jurors? Lord have mercy. And did you see the jury interview? Did you see the jury interview? Did you see the jury interview? No disrespect to the sister. She was young, politically educated, not world traveled, never went to a seminar on racism, doesn't understand anything about social science. She said Amber Guyger feels sorry for what she did. How the fuck do you know that? Excuse my language. How are you going to speak for somebody else? I'm a psychologist and I can't read minds. A psychologist is not a psychic. A psychic and a psychologist are two different things. A psychic can read minds. A psychology can only interpret behavior. A psychic reads minds. A psychologist interprets behavior. A psychic reads minds. A psychologist interprets behavior. I can't read a mind. I've been studying the mind for most of my adult life. And I can't tell you how Amber Guyger felt. How the hell can a politically uneducated young sister tell the world that she felt sorry because she put on the Oscars performance? Because she put on the Emmys performance? Because your goofy ass fell for that stunt? So now you're going to tell the world that she felt sorry because she cried tears? Don't you know actors cry tears all the time? It's part of their job. Have you ever watched a movie and saw somebody cry? Have you ever watched a movie and saw somebody cry? Don't you know people can cry? They can make themselves cry. And because Amber Guyger shed tears, that meant she was sorry? Who the hell chose you to be a juror in the first place? Oh, I know. You can use it, my brother. Just give me credit. You can use it. Just give me credit. I don't have a problem with it. My problem is you got a lot of people in the black conscious community. You have a lot of people in the conscious movement, black entertainers, hip hop artists. I watch these interviews and I watch these Breakfast Club conversations, and y'all steal my intellectual material all the time, and y'all don't give me credit. I've seen too many people quote Dr. Umar as if they said it. Stop stealing my information. If you can't give me credit, don't use my information. That go for the rappers, that go for the activists, that go for the conscious people, stop stealing my intellectual property, because 9 out of every 10 of you are Umar Johnson IQ thieves. Stop stealing my information and pushing it on your radio shows and on your YouTube shows like it's yours when you know you stole it from me. Bootlegging ass coons. Anyway, how Amber Guyger made history. Amber Guyger made history. The criminal became the victim. Do you realize that in that courtroom, Botham Jean wasn't even the focus? It was Amber. Did y'all realize? Amber Guyger single-handedly carried on her. She didn't even need the lawyer. She should get her money back. Amber Guyger needs to get the money back from the lawyer she paid. The Dallas Police Department need to get their money back from the lawyers they paid to defend Amber and give that money to Botham Jean's family. That's what they need to do. Get the money back from Amber's lawyers and give it to Botham Jean's family, because Amber won this case on her own. Through white privilege, white Jesus symbology, black religious dysfunction. She held church in there. Amber Guyger was T.D. Jakes up on there. Amber Guyger was Creflo Dollar up on that stand. Okay? Get the money back. She don't need no lawyer. She saved herself. And I don't know if y'all know this, but with all these constant forgiveness, all this constant forgiving that black people do, with all of this constant forgiving that black people do, with all of this constant forgiving that black people do, I don't know if y'all know this, we black America has given white America a perpetual get out of jail free card. I hope y'all know that. Let me say it again. Black America has given white America a perpetual get out of jail free card. Let me say it one more time. Black America has given white America a perpetual get out of jail free card. There is nothing that white people can do to us that we will not forgive them for. There is nothing that white people can do to us that we will not forgive them for. And that is bad. That is bad. That is bad. Did the European Jews forgive the Nazis? Did the European Jews forgive the Nazis? Did the European Jews forgive the Nazis? Did America forgive Al-Qaeda for 9/11? Did America forgive Al-Qaeda for 9/11? Did America forgive Al-Qaeda for 9/11? Did the Japanese forgive the Chinese? Did the Japanese forgive the Chinese for that occupation? Did the Japanese forgive the Chinese? No. I don't think so. Did Russia forgive America for aiding Afghanistan? Did Russia forgive America for aiding Afghanistan? Did Russia forgive America for aiding Afghanistan? No, but we want to forgive every single white person for every single act of injustice they commit against us, including murder. This is insane. This is insane. This is insane. If a black female cop murdered a white young man in his own apartment, do you think the white judge would have hugged her? Do you think the white bailiff would have fixed her hair? Do you think the white boy's brother would have asked the white judge to come and hug the black female police officer that shot his brother? Hell no. You would never get the treatment in a courtroom that Amber Guyger got. No black person, rich or poor, would ever get the treatment in a courtroom that Amber Guyger got. This is ridiculous. Thank you, Sister Malebo. What country you in, baby? I'm trying to... Nkosi, South Africa. I think you in South Africa. Nkosi. My oldest daughter Her middle name is Nkosazana, Royal Princess. Kosa, Zulu, Swazi. Shout out to my South African people. And then the white male juror. Did you hear what the white male juror said? Did you hear what the white male juror said? He said Botham would not want to seek revenge against Amber. Here we go playing psychic again. It's amazing how these jurors are so psychic that they couldn't read through Amber Guyger's bullshit Hollywood act she put. How you going to tell me what a deceased, how can a white man tell me what a deceased black man was thinking? How he going to sit up there and say Botham John would not want to seek revenge? Would that white juror have said the same thing if a black cop killed a white person? Would that white juror have said the same thing if a black cop had killed a white person? Of course not. Of course, look at the double standard that we participate in. Look at the double standard that we have created. Look at the double standard that we feed into. Look at the dysfunctional Negro behavior that has our people in the condition that we are in. We have bought ourselves a death sentence in this country. Black people's need to forgive their oppressors. Your uncontrollable love and need for acceptance and validation from your massa has bought Black America a death sentence. That's why I'm building a black community in Africa. Because me and my mother and my daughters and my wives getting the hell out of here. Me and my mother and my daughters and my wives, we're getting up out of here. Me and my mother and my daughters and my wife, we getting the hell up out of here. Because you Negroes have lost your damn mind. You are now forgiving convicted killers in the courtroom. You have earned us a perpetual death sentence. I'm not just talking about this judge because it's not about them. This happens all the time in America. They just so happen to be the ones with the camera in their face. This happens all the time in America. They just so happen to be the ones with the cameras in their face. You got black people in jail for more than 10 years for stealing. You got black people in jail for more than 10 years for selling drugs. You got black people in jail for more than 10 years on false convictions. You got black people in jail for more than 10 years for all kinds of offenses. And she killed the person and she will go home in 5 years maximum. But I've already predicted that Amber will be home by 3 years, if that. Because of us. And you got Negroes running around talking about, once we get some reparations, we gonna fix this problem. Once we get some reparations, we gonna fix this problem. Once we get some reparations, we gonna fix this problem. Let me explain something to you. I support reparations. I support the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations. But if we don't first engage in some serious internal reparations, if you don't fix your internal problems, no amount of external money will help you. If Black America doesn't internally repair itself, internal reparations must come first. Internal reparations must come first. Internal reparations must come first. Can you imagine what would have happened in that courtroom if Botham's brother had $1 million in his pocket? Could you imagine what would have happened in that courtroom if all the black jurors had $1 million apiece in their pocket? Can you imagine what would have happened in that courtroom if that black judge had $1 million in her pocket? They may have given it to Amber's family. They may have paid for her appeal. They may have set up a trust fund so when Amber Guyger gets out of jail, she will have all the money that she would have earned had she still been able to serve as a killer cop on the Dallas Police Department. Are you kidding me? You think money is going to fix Negro psychopathology? You think money is going to fix Negro dysfunction? You don't even spend the $2 trillion you got right now in a responsible fashion. You don't even spend the $2 trillion you got right now in a responsible fashion. You don't even spend the $2 trillion you got right now in a responsible fashion. And you got a nerve to say, once we get reparations, we will fix our problems? Go into a mental health hospital and give every client, every person in there, every resident in a mental health hospital, give them $1 million and see how much it helps them. Give every schizophrenic $1 million. Give every suicidal person $1 million. Give every low self-esteem person $1 million. Give every bipolar, every borderline $1 million. Give every eating disorder person $1 million, and then come back and tell me if it solves their problems. You Negroes are crazy. Stop looking for quick fixes out of your problems. That's why we still in them. Stop looking for quick fixes out of your problems. That's why we're still in them. Stop looking for quick fixes out of your problems. That's why we are still in them. Brothers and sisters, I have said what I needed to say. It is going down Memphis, Tennessee today. Martin Luther King Jr. Center, 485 Bill Street. The doors are open. The conference is starting. You need to be in your seat. My first visit since 2015. I will keynote today's conference at 5 o'clock. Tickets at the door. Children are welcome. The whole community needs to be there. Disaster emergency preparedness. Monday, Ghana Consulate, New York City, October 7th, 11 a.m. Saturday, 1 week from today, October 12th, African Union Headquarters, Washington, D.C. The whole conference, I believe, is 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I speak at 2 o'clock. Next Saturday, but I want you there for the whole conference. There will be ambassadors from many of the different African countries there to speak. Don't just come for me, come for the whole conference. Come for the conference. Washington, D.C. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood Cultural Center, November the 2nd, 4 o'clock. Oklahoma City, 4502 Event Center, Sunday, November the 3rd, 4 o'clock. Kwanzaa Tour. Kwanzaa Tour. This year, my entire Kwanzaa will be spent in Florida. Second day of Kwanzaa, Orlando. Third day of Kwanzaa, Pompano Beach. Fourth day of Kwanzaa, Miami, Florida. Fifth day of Kwanzaa, Riviera Beach. Sixth day of Kwanzaa. I got another beach I'm forgetting. And then New Year's Day, I will probably spend the last day of Kwanzaa, New Year's Day, January the 1st. I will likely spend the last day of Kwanzaa, January the 1st of 2020, in Jackson, Mississippi. Mississippi burning from Mississippi learning. Mississippi burning from Mississippi learning. January the 1st, the Prince is coming back to Jackson, Mississippi. Florida, get ready. Tickets go on sale November the 1st for the Kwanzaa tour. Tickets go on sale November